Hi, hello. I wanted to jump on for a moment. I've had such an interesting morning. It's been an interesting week. When is it never? When is it not interesting? Um, my eyes are so itchy. Like they're not gooby. They're just, and I feel like they're itchy around the outside. Anyway, um, had an interesting morning. Um, my middle child, Leah, um, she got asked to be involved in the deaf children, no, not deaf children, Victorian College of the Deaf signing choir. We were there last year at Victorian College of the Deaf to see if the school might be appropriate for her um, because she wanted to be with her people. She wanted to be in it. Unfortunately or fortunately, I took her latest, and when I say latest, it was like 6 days old. Um, so, yeah, very latest speech and language assessment. And in that, or from that, the principal and the head speech therapist was able to get a really good understanding of where she was at. And where she was at was not was very different to where um it was very different to, how do I put this, the Victorian College of the Deaf is somewhere that works with children who are deaf and who also have a lot of, or sometimes have a lot of other health issues on top of deafness, um, to support them to come up to or as close to standard, a magical standard, as possible. And Leah last year in her speech and language assessment was above standard. And so they were like, there's nothing here that can support her. She would be in a classroom by herself effectively. Um, because she was on not, not a different level from everyone else, but a different level from the kids that were there at her sort of developmental level. Um, so yeah, they were like, look, it would be exceptional for our school to take her, but um, not great for her. Not great for her. But we do have an opportunity or a potential whereby our school, Victorian College of the Deaf, are part of the Victorian State Schools Spectacular, which is this awesome show for primary and secondary school kids, I think it is. Um, and it's a show put on by the kids. And the kids get up and they do this. They sing and they dance and all sort of choreographed, yeah, behind the scene. Anyway, and Victorian College of the Deaf have done that for the last 2 years, and hopefully we get asked to do it again. And if so, would Leah like to be involved? Of course. So it's a signing choir, like it's a signing choir. And so we were like, yes, of course, definitely, like put us on the list and or yeah, contact us when it's happening. And then I got a phone call about it Monday to say, would she like to be involved? Yes, of course she would like to be involved, 100%. And the first rehearsal was today. Can you take her? Can you bring her? Well, can drop her off at Victorian College of the Deaf or take her. And I was like, I'll take her. She doesn't know anyone. I don't know you. I'll take her. And also she's got to be back at school by a specific time because she has another, they've got like a talent search on at the moment, and she's in that today and needs to be back at school ASAP. So yeah, so I said I would take her. And it's an interesting, so you know, her progression, right? So, or the back, sort of somewhat backstory. So last year, she, last couple of years, she's decided I want to be a part of the choir, the school choir. Yep, no problems. Last year, and aside from that, she's had a lot of trouble at night, as in nightmares, night terrors, struggling to get to sleep, desperate, beyond desperate to get to sleep and can't. And so gets so frustrated and angry, and it's a thing, and may not get to sleep for hours. And the more, as you know, like the more that you're trying to get to sleep, the more you can't get to sleep. Anyway, and so one morning I got her to, in my language, map the darkness, map the feelings, map, when I say map, I mean draw her, and it's not even like drawing the actual like feelings, it's the energy, drawing the energy. And so I was like, draw the energy of last night. We'd had a particularly bad night. Draw this, draw it, sit and draw it. And so we went through a process of her drawing it. Then, and this is what I was kind of, is the whole point of me doing this video today. In my language, that's mapping the darkness. It's not something we want to look at. It's not something that we're comfortable with, as in sitting in our uncomfortable feelings. And so I helped her to map the darkness. Then, this is the interesting part, what happens from that is we go into up-levelings, like extensive up-levelings. And so she was singing in the choir and just singing in the choir. And then we had this session. Then she got asked to do a solo in the choir. This is a severe to profoundly deaf kid. Well, when I say she got asked, she put her hand up, sorry. She put her hand up to sing a solo in the school choir. And when I say sing a solo, there was maybe 8 different kids that were doing various like lines but solo. She sang a solo in the sunlight just keeps going weird. She sang a solo, severe to profoundly deaf child, sang a solo in the choir. Could not hear the piano, could not hear the music. I know, this is a bit weird, isn't it? Anyway, we'll go with it. Couldn't hear the music, couldn't hear shit, but did the solo, sang beautifully. And I cried and all the things, as you do as a parent, right? And then it was like, where do you go from here? How do you up level from that? Like, what new goal do you set relating around that? And then it was something I was kind of joking about with the teachers, like, where do you go from here? And then I was in the shower, of course, and I had this idea of her potentially signing with the choir. That would be like the next level. And I told her, she was like, this is amazing, I want to do it. Because she loves her signing, like loves it. And so I went to the teacher. She was like, yes, let's do that. I'm on board, 100%. And so we started, and we spoke with our Auslan tutor. We learnt the song, all in sign language, Australian Sign Language, and her and another little girl, one of her friends, signed the song "I Have a Voice." So these two beautiful little girls standing at the front with the choir behind, singing, and the two little girls signing. And it was just extraordinary. And the support from all of the teachers on it, like the teachers of the deaf, and it was just beautiful. And from that, like the rippling out from that, the school are now teaching the children the welcome to country. And so each week you stand there at assembly, and there's my child on the big screen signing the welcome to country, while the whole school is joining her doing the signing for the. It's like beautiful. And so it was like, where do we go from here? Where do we go? And then we went to this Victorian College of the Deaf for the deaf, and it was apparent she was not. Yeah, it was not not appropriate, but it wouldn't be in her best interest to go to the school. But then there was this choir that maybe she could be a part of to do this Victorian State Schools Spectacular. She could be a part of their signing choir to do it. And then they called on Monday. And so now here she is. She's a part of this choir. Had the first rehearsal today for this choir. She made a little friend. And they're all either bilingual or exclusively Auslan. All the kids, the teachers, all four of them were hearing, but were mainly signing, even signing to like me or the other man that was managing the place where they were doing it. Let me just check the time. I've got to get ready to go to school, pick up the children. And so, yeah, here she is getting ready to be and loving it. Like, they haven't even started the signing. This year, they're learning a dance to go along with it. She's like, I've picked the hardest year to be involved because we're like doing a dance. They're going to be doing a dance and signing. But it's like this massive show, like 2 shows on TV. And like, and this is the thing, like if you are going to help your kids map the darkness, their darkness, you have to be prepared for the up-levelings. You have to be prepared to support their up-levelings. Today, I'm emailing on Tuesday, Monday, I was in talking with her teacher of the deaf and saying this is what's going to happen, like this is where we find ourselves. There's going to be some rehearsals during school time, and also like there's probably going to need to be some support from the teacher of the deaf to support her with this. I'm also here, obviously, but like when you support your kid to map their darkness, when you support yourself to map your darkness, your own darkness, when you support your kids to support their darkness, you've got to be prepared for the up-levelings, as in what comes in relation to the up-levelings. And the up-levelings are out of your comfort zone. I mean, this is a 9-year-old kid with her mum for a bit, rocking up to 12 other kids who are all, as I said, bilingual or exclusively Auslan. They do not even speak, some of them. And 4 bilingual teachers rocking up to this place, her pretty much by herself, and going, I can do this. I can be, and even at the end, the teachers were like, when I was saying thank you so much, like thank you so much for welcoming her and letting her be involved in this, they were like, Leah, you are so brave. You are so brave from just rocking up. Rocking up. This is a kid who I could not get into the classroom in prep, who I would spend hours waiting around with at kinder to try and until she felt comfortable with me leaving. This is a kid who was so unbelievably shy. She could not go on the equipment by herself. I had to be either there, right there on the equipment with her, or there. She could not go on the equipment without me. She could not go to playgroup with me being in just the other room of the building. I had to be right there with her all the time. She wouldn't even go to my husband, her father, for a large portion of time. It was just me. It was just me. And I supported that. I sat with her. I stayed with her through that, because I knew that if I pushed her to try and be something else, it would not work. And it would make things worse, and she would cling on even tighter. And that's what kids do, right? When you really think about it. And here she is, fine, probably a little nervous, but fine, with rocking up. And she did not just stay next to me the whole time that we did this sort of tour, building tour, with the Victorian College of the Deaf students. She was over the other side of the room. We got there and this little girl, she when we walked in, because everyone's like, oh, Leah, oh, Leah. And the teacher's like, hi, Leah, how you doing? Signing, hi, Leah. I can't sign with one hand. How you doing? We're just going on a tour. Da, da, da. She was and this little girl just was waving hi. And then that's the little girl who's now friends with her. And she's chuffed. She's I said to her, are you okay to continue? She's like, are you asking me that question? Are you insane? Is it not obvious? And I was like, okay, shit, sorry. Sorry, mate, sorry. This is someone who was so far in their shell, it is not funny. I would sit in the classroom in prep with my now youngest, and we would sit there and in the classroom and be like, hey, Leah, come in. And she was desperate to be at school, desperate, but at the same time couldn't get in the classroom. And over the course of that 6 months, we were patient. The teacher of the deaf, her classroom teacher, we were all so patient and loving and gentle and kind. And then she made the leap, and then she got it. And she was like, I'm fine now. I'm good. And then she just, from there, and now here she is in this group, walking into this, a whole bunch of people that she's never met before. Got to be prepared to support the kids for the leap. So that gets me to the email. So I'm emailing her principal to tell him what we're doing, to introduce him to the Victorian College of the Deaf teacher, so that he is aware of what is going on, that she might need to step out sometimes, that she might need a bit of extra support in that area to like help her with the song and the dance for for this show. All fudge. When you help your kid map their darkness, you've got to be prepared to support their up leveling too. You've got to be you've got to be ready to support their up leveling. When you your own self map your own darkness, you also have to be prepared to support to go to journey through your own up levelings, because they are steep, my friends. This is not a gentle, quiet, slow process. When you are mapping the darkness, the up leveling that comes from it is steep. It is uncomfortable, but far out. You'll find yourself singing on stage, on TV, in front of, in the Victorian State School Spectacular. Like, this is what happens when you map your darkness. Today she had her rehearsal, and then because her and her little friend have like taken the ball and run with it, they're in this talent quest at school. So she had to like come straight back to school from the rehearsal to perform at lunchtime with her friend to the song Raw, Katy Perry's Raw, in the talent quest, in front of the school, because that's just where we're at. It's insane. I'm not sure if I said this was a daily check-in. It's what? Up-leveling. We'll just call it up-leveling. Shall we? I gotta go pick up children.